Welcome to Living in Beauty. It's Friday, March 20, 2020, day 1341 on the road, and we're in Arizona, sheltering in places along the Colorado River. And oh wow, Slab City seems like months ago. So much has happened in the last 2 weeks. You know, I almost titled this entry, When the Shit Hits the Fan, in Beauty. But decided against, because I don't want to pile on any more media stress. Strange and uncertain times call for agility, clear-headedness, beer and corn chips. And we have all of those things, including toilet paper. Yes sirree, we're flush with all the essentials way out here on the river. As news broke about the COVID-19 reach into California, we pulled out of Slab City, heading north on Highway 111 after the busy morning commute. We searched for a place to stop and think this thing through, but first we needed access to all of the desert luxuries, a dump station, fuel, and fresh produce. The dump station on the east shore of the Salton Sea Recreation Area was open, and hopefully still is. To contain the spread of COVID-19, state and national campgrounds are closing nationwide, and now people who are isolating in RVs face unnecessary difficulties accessing facilities to properly manage their tanks. With more people living mobile these days, it is a public benefit to keep all existing RV service stations open. After all, social distancing in an RV is not only one of the most effective solutions to control the spread of alien viruses, it's the American way. Leaving the Salton Sea, we pulled into La Quinta, a resort town in Palm Desert with comforting snow-capped mountains swaddling the posh, easygoing retiree community. We found a rather tight place to park the rig in a bustling mall. Jim put a note on the beast, "Please don't tow, we're shopping," and included our phone number. Then we grabbed a bottle of hand sanitizer and walked to the soup plantation, where we grazed like a pair of starving borrego. Almost seems like the good old days now, but after lunch we walked over to the fully stocked Costco and loaded up on supplies. And then we fueled up the beast, all in the same parking lot. Score. La Quinta had plenty of fabulous RV resorts, and after 2 weeks of dry camping, we were tempted to stop and treat ourselves. But with all of the news coming in, remote dry camping seemed to be the wise solution. Before retirement, Jim was a member of the Group Eradicating Resilient Microorganisms Commission, or GERM, in San Diego. So he had an idea about how fast this emergency could develop. To stay informed, we needed a place with a good Verizon signal. Like a lot of clueless SoCal residents, we'd never been to Joshua Tree. So, at lunch, we read reviews and found a remote, free campground at Chiriaco Summit, just a couple of miles from the national park entrance behind the General Patton Museum. We took the historic Interstate 10 into the Oricopia Mountains wilderness. Between 1862 and 1877, the Bradshaw Trail was the main stagecoach and wagon route through Shaver Pass between SoCal and western Arizona. The historic and now extinct Highway 60 crossed this pass, now called Chiriaco Summit, and Interstate 10 now absorbs this history. In 1933, desert pioneers Joe and Ruth Chiriaco established a gas station and store on the pass and opened it the day Highway 60 was paved. Today, Chiriaco Summit is an iconic old California rest stop for travelers, truckers, and desert day trippers from the Los Angeles area. Following signs, we passed the museum and pulled into the campground, which is about a half-mile from the highway. After checking in, our camp host offered us any empty site of our choice. We snagged a nice spot backed up to the Joshua Tree Mountains. The campground is small, with only about 25 spacious and tidy primitive sites. They are evenly spaced along both sides of the unpaved road, with a turnaround at the end. The road runs parallel to I-10 between the mountains along the Bajada, a gently sloping valley that descends from the mountains. The south-facing natural landscape is rich with brittle bush, palo verde, ironwood, and indigo. Joshua trees do not grow on this side of the park, but that's why there are so few tourists trampling this stunning landscape. Joshua Tree National Park does not allow dogs on any of the trails, but with the full-time campground host at Chiriaco Summit, we felt safe leaving Pico in the trailer. So, in the early mornings, after we walked Pico along the unpaved road that leads straight into Joshua Tree, we filled our day pack with water and drove to the official park entrance about 5 miles from Chiriaco Summit. General Patton, we learned, was an animal lover, so Pico would be fine. The hikes were rugged and long, and so beautiful that we forgot all the troubles of the world at Mastodon Peak, Lost Desert Oasis, and Skull Rock. But we always managed to be home before dark, just in time for a spectacular sunset, a hearty home-cooked meal, and more distressing news. Midweek, we had a thunderstorm, so we went to the museum. The General S. Patton Memorial Museum rewarded us with several lessons in California and Mexico history. It was an enlightening tribute to the kind of quality leadership the world so desperately needs. But the elevated map of the desert alone was worth the visit. We spent an hour studying this amazing project called the Big Map. While we toured the museum, the storm abated, the clouds parted, and the sun broke through. Then, later that night, from our mountainside hermitage, we observed the glittering flow of traffic on the I-10 as the steady stream of headlights slithered down the mountain and curled behind a mesa, seeming to penetrate a black hole and then reemerge into sight. No, not everyone will be fine, but life will move on. Forces of nature will momentarily and sometimes permanently alter the path, but the continuum is unbreakable, and the journey worth it. All we can do is try to be the kind of soldiers who hold up a light in the darkness so others can see the way. Thank you for joining us at Living in Beauty. If you like this post and want to be notified when a new one is released, please enter your email address and click the follow button at the bottom of this page. For more info, check out our travel maps and facts. Okay, that's it for now. Safe and happy travels, and see you next time.